Opera Pulse sat down with soprano Ava Pine to discuss one of Handel's breathtaking arias, Vadoro Pupille, from his opera Julius Caesar. Ava is currently performing the role of Cleopatra with Fort Worth Opera.
Well, Cleopatra has decided she's going to enlist Caesar's help, and she's trying to overthrow her brother and take sole leadership of Egypt. So she's visited Caesar in his tent and has charmed him a bit, and she knows that he's smitten. So she plans this elaborate scene. Cleopatra was a huge fan of drama. This is a historical fact. She would plan these elaborate shows for visitors to Egypt. So she plans this Shena and has Nireno, her servant, help her out. He sets it up, and she enters and sings Vadoro Pupille to charm him, to win him over. So in a way, it's an interesting aria because the sentiment in it isn't necessarily sincere, at least to begin with. It's a show, and she's acting. But as we've staged it over the course of the aria, she's, I think, a little bit surprised by how the sentiment actually becomes to be very real for her. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's a very interesting discovery that you can make over the course of the aria. Mm-hmm. I think what makes a masterpiece is something that people can relate to on an emotional level. And the music in Vadoro Pupille is just, it's so beautiful. It touches people on an emotional level. And I do think that it can exist on several different levels. It exists within the drama of the show. It exists by itself. People can hear it without the voice even, and think that's a special piece of music. I'd sung the aria a lot, and I just didn't realize what it really meant until I actually lived it and acted it. It was the same way with Da Tempeste, actually, which happens at the very end of the opera. It's her final aria after 7 or 8, depending on how you cut it. And I found when I ran the show for the first time in its entirety, she's relieved in this aria in Da Tempeste, and she's so happy to be rescued. And when I sang it for the first time, having done the whole journey, I was so happy to be to that point. Partly because I'd taken the character's journey, but also because I was tired. It was my 7th aria of the day, and so it's interesting how the way that it comes in the opera informs the drama of it as well. I think that's no accident. I think what's most exciting is that Fort Worth Opera audiences haven't had a Baroque opera in the season before. So we get the chance to bring Baroque to them and to show them that it can be vibrant and relevant and moving and exciting and funny and touching and all those wonderful things that opera is. People sometimes think Baroque is staid and boring, and it's so not. When it's done correctly, it can really, the da capo arias saying the same thing over and over, it can be a palette for whatever story you want to tell. And our director, David Gately, has done a great job of finding that through line and finding the story. And I think the audience will, I think they'll like it. I think they'll travel it with us.
Learn more about the Fort Worth Opera Festival or browse through some of opera's famous arias at operapulse.com/aria of the week.